Greetings and welcome to Macon County Movie Club. I'm your host, Ryan Stockstad. Don't adjust your settings. I am indeed post-dubbed because tonight is Poliziotteschi night. Now, the term Poliziotteschi basically refers to Italian crime movies made throughout the 1970s during the so-called Years of Lead. This was a period of social and political turmoil in Italy, characterized by pervasive acts of violence and terrorism. Now, the reality of life in Italy was reflected in the films that they produced. Now, the films themselves are characterized by the Italian film industry's penchant for voice dubbing, explosive violence often directed at women and children as a way to underline the real-life innocent blood that spilled in the streets. Car chases, heists, and macho tough guys railing against a corrupt system of cops, politicians, and/or mafiosi. Now, the way this works, I and 3 other hosts have each selected a Poliziotteschi to bring to the party tonight. But it's up to the room to decide which movie we actually watch. Now, the movie I chose is one I've never seen before, Umberto Lenzi's The Tough Ones, also known as Rome, Armed to the Teeth.
Hi, I'm Justin, and tonight my pick is Enzo G. Castellari's Il Cittadino si ribella, aka Street Law. I've never seen it, but I'm sure it's a winner.
Hey, I'm Mike, and the movie I've chosen tonight is 1975's Hallucination Strip, also known as Hallucinating Trip, starring Bud Cort. It's a movie I have not yet seen, but am anxious to watch.
Hi, I'm Sumner, and I brought Machine Gun McCain. I haven't seen this yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
My film today is Il Cittadino si ribella, The Citizen Rebels, or as we like to call it, Street Law. Street Law stars Franco Nero, best known from the spaghetti western series Django. Franco is a guy, he's just in a bank, he's just trying to do some bank things, and these robbers come in, they rough him up, they tough him up, and he's like, you know what? I'm sick of this. I'm gonna take the law into my own hands. The movie's got motorcycles, it's got car chases. It's from Enzo G. Castellari, who made the original Inglourious Bastards. He also did 1990, The Bronx Warriors, which was very futuristic in 1982. So please vote for Street Law.
Okay, you asked for it. Just look at him. What kind of a man are you, huh? A good, honest citizen. Hey, you're no better than a common criminal. Maybe worse.
So the movie that I'm picking for tonight is Machine Gun McCain. You've got John Cassavetes in this, who plays the starring role of McCain. Britt Eklund, if you're familiar with her. It also has Gina Rollins in it as well, and Gina Rollins does a really great job in this movie. Peter Falk is in this, and this is before Columbo. This also features a score by Ennio Morricone. So this film has got a lot of great people, great cast. Looking for something a little bit different for the Poliziotteschi genre, this is definitely your title.
The movie I've chosen for today is Hallucination Strip. It mixes the genre that we're delving into today with some psychedelic elements, which is one of the reasons I really want to watch this. But the main reason I want to see this tonight, and I want you guys to vote for it, is the cast. My favorite movie of all time is Harold and Maude, and I've been trying to watch basically everything that Bud Cort has done. And I'm particularly excited about his 70s output. He was in MASH and The Strawberry Statement, which if you haven't seen is just fantastic, and Brewster McCloud. And then this movie came out in 1975. According to IMDb, it's the next movie that came out after Harold and Maude. And to me, that is reason enough to watch this.
But you have a daughter, Professor, that's run off for the 4th time. And you know that she's been fixing for more than a year. I wouldn't be pointing an accusing finger at the hippies only because they started her off, but also at their parents.
I've picked Umberto Lenzi's The Tough Ones, which is also known as Rome Armed to the Teeth. The Tough Ones is an absolutely insane cops versus robbers staple of the Poliziotteschi genre. You're going to see a bank heist. You're going to see some brutal purse snatching. You're going to see violence against children. As you all know, my favorite IMDb keyword is child in peril, and this is going to deliver that. Maurizio Merli and Tomas Milian were two of the biggest stars of the genre, and you're going to see them together in this movie. Merli plays a pissed-off cop who's trying to catch and kill Milian's sadistic, hunchbacked maniac crook. That's right. Yes. Tomas Milian is a machine gun-wielding maniac hunchback. So we're in good hands across the board. The cast is strong, the direction is strong, the plot is bonkers. I think you're going to have a good time.
Make it 2.5 and you can touch my hump, huh? Okay? Come on, touch it. It's good luck, really, man.
Thanks, anyhow. But I don't believe in those superstitions.
Hmm? Refusing to touch it brings bad luck.
You have a pen? I This is private. My vote's private. Let's announce the winners by starting with the losers. 4th place, I'm sorry, Street Law with 7 points. Machine Gun McCain comes in 3rd place with 8 points. The winner goes to The Tough Ones with 12 points, which puts the Hallucination Strip at 9. So congratulations on the 2nd place, but we are going to watch The Tough Ones tonight. I'm talking about the 1981. I forgot to mention the selling point of the funky 70s guitar score. Tough one.
He's gonna get these guys.
Get up, you little bastard!
Wait a minute, wait! What's the matter with you?
All right, well, we just got done watching The Tough Ones, aka Rome Armed to the Teeth. Maurizio Merli plays a fascist cop, very much in the vein of Dirty Harry. He's sort of Italy's answer to Dirty Harry. Dirty Harry wishes he went as far as Merli goes in this movie. He isn't particularly a great cop, but what he is good at is bashing skulls and kicking crotches. And he does a lot of both in this movie. Eventually, through dumb luck and happenstance, he catches up with Tomas Milian, who is a A hunchback, maniac, madman, lunatic who is determined to kill him. It's satisfying if what you want is a lot of action, car chases, some stunts, and some kicked crotches. If that's what you want, this movie delivers. If what you're looking for is a satisfying police procedural with some smart writing and a well-written detective yarn, this doesn't deliver.
Yeah. There's not really a plot.
No, there's not.
The film actually begins with Maurizio Merrily's like one bit of policing, like detective work, in that he's got some information that a big criminal honcho he wants to nab is going to be at this casino.
This is a police raid. Stay where you are, please.
So then he comes back to his boss, Arthur Kennedy, and he's complaining. He's like, like we're held by these ridiculous laws and the criminals can just get away with it. It'd be great if we had a squad of guys who just could sort of be like the Untouchables. And then eventually he just decides, well, I guess I'll just be the Untouchables on my own.
Tansy, the law is the law.
Yes, but only for us, sir.
We can't use criminal methods to fight criminals. It'd create chaos.
That's right. Press would tear us all to shreds.
The hell with the press, for Christ's sake.
I didn't feel like we needed it explained to us every scene.
Right.
I know you feel our hands are tied and that the law helps criminals and that they're winning. Well, they will win if you don't keep a cool head. Don't let them get to you.
But they've got all the advantages. Killers, thieves, punks, all they need is a good lawyer.
Yeah, I know, but that's how it is.
There is some sort of mastermind that Merrily is looking for. They allude to it early on. They're talking about, one of the bank robbers was wearing a glove over his left hand. There's something to do with somebody who has a hooked hand or a damaged hand or a tattooed hand, or I wasn't even clear.
One of the gunmen was wearing a black glove on his left hand, so there's a good chance it was our friend Savelli.
It's not very clear who this mastermind is and what the end game is. All we know is that Merrily's our anti-hero, and he's going to kick ass and luck his way from... I mean, he literally gets in the car, and then immediately a purse snatcher shows up.
He sees two kids on a Vespa steal a purse from a woman and push the woman and the child over. Which, first of all,
the woman
looked like the child could have been injured.
Yeah, the woman leaves the child as a cushion, so to protect her fall.
This woman from this fall.
No, thank God she had that kid. She might have been hurt otherwise.
That's very true.
It happens right in front of him, and he's like, all right, I'm ready to kick ass.
That was the first moment, though, watching the film, that I was like, wait, what is the plot? I was starting to kind of
the first of many.
Yeah, I was like, this is what started this insane story structure that they ended up using to tell this larger story.
They stole my bag! Stop, Steve!
But it does introduce the fact that our main cop's girlfriend is a psychologist or a therapist or a social worker type person. Who has to interview the criminals and kind of say, we should press charges or this should be let go.
Or let them go.
How old are you?
I'm 15 and a half.
And you?
16.
What's your name?
Nicola?
Do you have a family, Nicola?
Yeah, only Dad's in prison now.
What did he do?
He killed Mama.
Can we talk about the fact that these are the oldest 15-year-olds that we've ever seen?
15 and 16, yes.
Yeah.
They were quite old.
And even after they gave that close-up when they were dead on the street, was it you who shouted out, nope, still not 16?
We can keep this up for a couple of days. 48 hours, Moretto, that's what the law says. 48 hours to really get to know each other. Just you and I.
What about my rights to call my lawyer? He'll get
The hunchback sends some goons out to tie her to a car that's then about to be put into a compactor and get her all squished up like Omar Sharif in Top Secret, like I said.
Yeah.
No!
turns out they're not actually going to kill her. It's really, they want to send her a message and let her know, look, this is what we're going to do to you if you get out of line. But really, they're sending a message to him.
Here, lady, this is for that son of a bitch of a friend of yours.
This movie had like a fantastic car chase.
Yes,
which was really awesome. Tomas, like the hunchback, he hijacks an ambulance once they're kind of onto him because they know that it's a white BMW that he's driving around, and he's the guy in charge, and so he gets into an ambulance, which is kind of smart because ambulance can get through different places. The siren's going, no one's going to bother him.
There's a woman in there's gonna die if she doesn't get proper care. Yeah, man, well, I don't give a shit. Now keep going unless you want to die, too.
Yeah. Don't worry, dude. Don't worry. How much longer will it take? What's going on? Why are we going this way, driver?
The hell do you want?
I simply want to know where we're going.
Well, me, I don't really know. I know where you're going, though. To the cemetery, that's where you're going.
This guy's up to no good. He's a maniac. I mean, he's a mad dog, and our anti-hero is definitely the guy that needs to put him down.
There's clearly a moment they go through an intersection, and someone in one of the other cars is clearly going like, huh?
Yeah.
So clearly they did not clear that street. They're just like, just drive through.
Yeah,
we'll get it. Just drive through.
It's Italy in the 70s. They don't have time for permits, and I mean, they don't have budgets for permits. So they're just like, you know, let's just get some guys on the street and race through here and put the cameras at it and hope nobody gets hurt.
And like cars were definitely damaged during it because there's like one shot where like a car goes into a wall, another car like drives into another car. Like there was definitely some like real like physical action with these cars as well.
I mean,
with that budget, it's like
one of the best thing about this whole genre, but it's certainly displayed in this movie, is all the Italian cars. You know, this is the opposite of the American muscle cars and movies like Bullet and The French Connection. All of these cars are tiny little Italian sports cars and Fiats and things like that, and Alfa Romeos. The cars in this movie were on point.
Yeah.
You had the gold Citroen. You also had the green. I don't know. Was it
the Porsche 911 with the Targa bar?
Yeah. Hell, you're a car guy. All right. All right. There's the Alfa Romeos. There was also like a Ferrari at one point, and
the Dino. Yeah.
If you're a gearhead, this movie has some eye candy for you. I was surprised at how good the car porn in this movie turned out to be.
Look, Inspector, you give me a decent break and I'll make you a deal. I'll tell you all I know about Farrinder.
Let's hear it.
I know where Farrinder is.
The Poliziotteschi movies are definitely trying to satisfy a sort of catharsis in the audience, the Italian crowd, that literally, if you were walking down the streets of Milan or Rome or wherever in Italy at that time, there's like a 50-50 chance you're gonna get shot. And that bullet could have come from a cop or a purse snatcher or a terrorist, and I mean, it's even odds who's gonna kill you.
You got trouble, honey?
I can't get it started.
Well, let's have a look. Yeah, there's water in the cookstiddle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look.
Help! Help! You son of a bitch!
Get lost, baby!
But that woman really liked her coat.
No! Let go, you idiot! You dirty, rotten son of a bitch! Get the hell out of here!
At one point, a woman comes up to him, and she's upset because she hasn't seen her daughter in a couple of months. And we've just seen a scene where the daughter is dating some guy who's kind of keeping her there at this point against her will.
Yeah, he injects her with heroin against her will.
And it works, because then she's hugging him and stuff. So anyway, so the mother goes to the cop and says, I want you to find my daughter.
She's staying with Tony.
Yeah, she says the guy's name is Tony. So it's in Italy. So the one Tony in Italy, the guy goes after. Yeah, it's like, well, do you know what he looks like? No, nothing. She got nothing. And she comes up with a name of like a club where they met.
Yeah. Oh, he's at the Morocco discotheque. Have you ever heard of it? No. I'll figure it out. His name's Tony. It's a discotheque in Italy. Yeah, no problem.
And he does. He figures it out.
This sequence is maybe the moment where the movie kind of lost me. Like, I think I was kind of hanging in there with the movie until we get to the rape sequence.
Yeah.
We see a young couple making out. Suddenly 2 other cars pull up full of preppy-looking guys. They look like the jerks in Animal House or something.
It reminded me of the rapists in Leaving Las Vegas.
They're clearly up to no good. They beat up the boyfriend, stick him in the trunk, and they literally say to him, is like, we're all going to take a turn with your girl.
Yeah.
And the movie shows us more of this than we'd like.
Don't be so upset. It's going to be a swell party.
So she's totally traumatized, of course, but she's lucid enough to say one guy had like black hair and the other guy had a baby face, which is not much of a clue, but one of the rapists was also dumb enough to like drop a card that says, hey, I hang out at this recreation center.
Yeah.
So then the cops
and it had his name in it too. So
right.
it was his Blockbuster card, I think.
Yeah. So basically, he shows up at the place. He just waits for somebody to say the guy's name, and then he just turns, and then it's on. And let's be honest, that was satisfying, seeing him mop the floor with these punks.
I think you lost this.
What's up? Good to go.
Shove it up your ass.
Fight! Fight! Hey, man. Let's get the hell out of here. I don't want to get in trouble.
Eventually, there is a bank robbery scene, and it's already in progress. We don't see them break in or anything. The getaway driver's already driven away, and now it's a hostage situation.
What's going on?
It's too damn quiet. They're up to something.
Well, remember, the first thing if they attack is kill the hostages.
And then finally, our hero, of course, he has the idea to talk to someone about like we work on the air ducts and whatever, and he goes into the air, like it basically becomes
that was other dumb luck, though. Speaking of dumb luck,
it was like
that information just sort of like it was like, oh yeah, I'm here because my uncle worked on the place, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, there's a robbery going on. Our super cop shows up, starts talking with some random dude. He's like, hey, how you doing? The guy's like, oh, I'm good. You know this building, right? yeah, I used to work in the building. Oh yeah, were you a bank robber or what? Ha ha ha. They're joking around, and it's like, what is the point of it? Like, they got seconds where they're going to start machine gunning people in the face.
But the guy has the information that he needs.
But the guy's like, oh yeah, by the way,
go figure.
This movie can totally become Die Hard if you want to jimmy through some ducks, and he's like, oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, and it's like very clean air ducts as well. There's no dust or anything, and like also he's now in a full black suit. Randomly.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Just like what?
Total like Roger Moore, James Bond, like the black suit with the like shoulder holster.
I was picturing Shaft. To me, he was Richard Roundtree in that. He's looking very with the turtleneck, black turtleneck with the gun holster. Yeah.
Those bastards out there must think I'm playing games. Well, I'm not. There's 1 minute to go. 1 minute and you're dead, lady. And then we'll see what they do.
They didn't spend a lot of money on this movie, but when they did, they bought turtlenecks.
In the next 10 minutes, I'll be firing again. And this time it won't be in the air, but at a hostage. They're clear?
There was the one bad guy who totally, his hair was styled. He looked like a Caucasian Superfly.
Absolutely. As cheap as these movies tended to be, I'm pretty confident that they actually did not have a wardrobe budget or even a costumer.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for certain roles. I mean, that black outfit he was wearing was probably
I was going to say, that probably was
but
not his.
That's the exception. I think most of the henchmen, most of the day players, they're just showing up to set wearing what's in their closets. And as a result, the fashion sense of this movie is pretty on point. And I think it's because you're in, Italy in the 70s, where fashion is...
Everybody's got suits. So.
It's one of those things that really helps the budget. If this had been made in America and they tried that, everybody would show up with like T-shirts and stuff, and it would look terrible. But in this movie, everyone looked like really well dressed. They were looking pretty good.
Hold it!
Merrily is running around the rooftops in some pretty expensive Italian shoes that I would not want to be wearing if I was running around rooftops.
That kind of stuff can like slip. You could slip and fall and that kind of thing. And yeah, like with like loafers.
Yeah, he's running around with like Italian loafers.
Yeah.
And of course he slides off the side of the building.
That's actually the proof that it is their clothing.
Yeah.
You know?
And you doubt that there's definitely not a bag on the ground there. There's probably not even like a spotter to be like, oh, here he comes.
Yeah. What do you think, Sumner? Do we recommend this to the folks at home?
It's a light disapproval.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of fun things about it, and there's a lot of great things about it. But in general, I don't recommend it.
I understand. But for what it is, I have to give a recommend. This is a dumb popcorn movie that's gonna give you some ridiculous over-the-top action and violence. And ultimately, for me, that's enough to say, yes, I recommend it.
As an episodic thing, some of the episodes are kind of cool, kind of fun, and it gives you that genre hit, that trashy grindhouse hit. I wish it held together more. I wish Tomas Milian, who was great, got to do more, got to be like a more prevalent villain throughout the film. I was kind of hanging with the ramshackle nature of it until the rape sequence, which really was just kind of like, oh, this movie's got to get a lot better for me to be back on board. So because of that, I don't recommend it.
Fair enough.
The movie has a lot of weaknesses, but when it hits, it doesn't hold back, and I appreciate that about it. So overall, I enjoyed the movie enough to recommend it.
All right, well, this is the part of the night where we like to go around the table and talk about a movie from this genre that each one of us recommends. So something we've seen that we did like. Mike, let's start with you.
My recommendation is High Crime, which is directed by Enzo Castellari, who also did The Last Shark and Johnny Hamlet, which is one of my favorites of his. Yeah, High Crime came out in 1973, and before that, a lot of filmmakers were really inspired by some of the American crime films like French Connection and Bullet. And then this movie was so popular that then it sort of became the standard for moving on within the genre for the Italian filmmakers.
My recommendation is the 1976 film Cop in Blue Jeans. The original title is Squadra Anticipo, which means Anti-Theft Squad, which is not as cool as Cop in Blue Jeans. It stars the villain of our film from today, Tomas Milian, but this time he's the good guy. And it stars the American Jack Palance as the bad guy. In a nutshell, I would say that Cop in Blue Jeans is almost like Beverly Hills Cop 8 years earlier. Tomas Milian is playing this guy who used to be a petty crook, but now he's become kind of a wisecracking super cop. As part of the Anti-Theft Squad, he's on the trail of these guys who are doing those motorcycle purse snatchings. But what happens is the purse snatchers make this grave error, and they steal a briefcase from American gangster Jack Palance that has $5 million he was about to deliver. I eagerly recommend Cop in Blue Jeans with Tomas Milian and Jack Palance.
I've probably seen somewhere between 10 and 15 Poliziotteschi's in my lifetime. I am by no means an expert of the genre, but I can say that my favorite of the genre that I've seen is The Big Racket. The movie stars Fabio Testi, also directed by Enzo G. Castellari. Testi is a cop working in Rome, and there's a criminal who's running a racket where he's sending goons in to rough up businesses to pay protection money. If you don't pay the money, they come in and they burn your store down or they trash the place. And they're brutal. They're absolutely uncompromising. if you don't pay, they won't just stop there. They'll rape your 12-year-old daughter, they'll kill your wife, whatever it takes. They want your money no matter what. So Testy is determined to stop these thugs. He assembles a kill squad of all of the different people earlier in the movie who'd been victimized by this gang, and they go on a hunting spree, and they kick ass. The story is tightly crafted, the action is extreme, Castellari is a fantastic director. If you like this genre at all, or if you want to get into this genre, start with The Big Racket.
I do have a recommendation. This is like one of my favorite, probably my top 10 films I've seen this year. It's really good. It's called Caliber 9. It's a part of a trilogy done by Fernando de Leo. So the main character, his name is Hugo, and he is released from prison. He's a small-time gangster, and everybody thinks he's stolen this $300,000 and has it hidden somewhere, and he keeps insisting the entire time that he hasn't stolen it. And this is within a gang ring that they're smuggling money across international borders. You follow this character in ways where he's trying to get out of this lifestyle. He's trying to make sure that he's safe, and he has this love interest that he reunites with and everything, and you kind of root for him the whole time to get out of it. Of course, I won't spoil the ending, but it's totally earned. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, and it's truly heartbreaking, and it's my recommendation.
We've reached the part of the night where we draw next week's theme. The way this works, each one of the hosts will pick a genre or a theme or a concept, and then I will decide which one we actually go with because my movie got picked. That is the reward for having your movie picked. Mike, starting with you. All right.
I don't know if I understand
reaching
this.
deep in, that's fine. There's some that are
Here we go.
that you may not know. We'll find out.
All right.
All right, what do you got, Mike?
It says Cat 3, Category 3.
Category 3. Category 3 is extreme. It's sort of like the NC-17 of Hong Kong cinema.
Oh.
So these are going to be extremely graphic and violent Hong Kong films.
Got it. Category 3.
Martial arts.
Martial arts. Oh, well, I'm a big fan of going with a pure genre, so that might be Bollywood. Oh, that's a curveball. That could be interesting.
Looks like it's going to be foreign films regardless.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. What do you got?
Let's see what we got here. We have Rapsploitation.
Rapsploitation. These are movies starring or directed by rappers. As goofy and dumb as Rapsploitation is, I don't think I'm going to go with that. Category 3, I feel like we've had some pretty hyper-violent stuff recently, so I think I'll retire that for now. Yeah, we're doing martial arts. We're going martial arts on the next one. All right, well, thanks for watching Macon County Movie Club. I'm your host, Ryan Stockstad. Join us next week when we tackle martial arts. Should be a great episode. You can find us on Instagram at the LA Frankenstein channel. Make sure you subscribe right here for new episodes every Friday, right up through mid-December. I'll see you next time.